So today's Motivation Wednesday will be slightly different. Instead of it just being my words, I would love for us to hear from just a small few of our young people giving their concerns and their hopes in this time. Let's listen to their words and hope that would encourage our hearts in this very present moment.
I'm concerned within the church about basically patience and bitterness. I'm hoping that we would learn to count all things joy and that we would just learn to be slow to speak, quick to listen, and basically just not get too angry at one another and learn to love people because God said to love people of all types of people, whether they're Christians or not Christians, whether they look like you or they don't. We're just supposed to love all people.
Yeah.
And then as far as basically where I see hope because I know God, if not here, I see hope in heaven and at the end times because I know that's when justice will be served.
My concern right now is realizing how corrupt the system really is and how it's always been. But my hope is that seeing all of everybody coming together, more together, will help change it for the future generations to come.
So my concern is that this whole race is going to cause division amongst different races or cultures within the church, and that we make our emotions the best of us. But my hope is that we will be able to show how we don't fight like the world in this, but we are more compassionate and loving and kind-hearted, and we have patience, and we know how to turn the other cheek and things like that. Like, we'll be able to show all the spiritual gifts because we have Christ by our side. So that's my hope.
So I would say that one of the biggest concerns that I have in the wake of the tragic killing of George Floyd is that people are just now not realizing, but they're just now acknowledging the fact that there is a big systemic issue. And what concerns me is that people are just now acknowledging and realizing that we have a very long way to go, and I don't want these newfound allies and people supporting us to simply be like, oh, well, we got justice for George Floyd, we're done. And it's like, no, we need to get justice for an entire system. We're fighting against an entire system, not just one part. And so that brings me to the biggest concern is that I want people to be here for the marathon and not the sprint, and realize that this is a much larger issue than just one particular issue with police brutality. But that also brings me to the hope that I have is that a whole lot of more people are realizing that this is a big issue, and it's expanding beyond just police brutality. This is expanding to areas such as the workplace, where people are having open conversations now. People are being more open to hearing about what their black employees' experience was, what a black person's experience, and just being more open and receptive to hearing their stories and concerns, and now mobilizing, making action. So that does bring me hope that more and more people are willing to stand up and take action. And so that does bring me hope as we continue in this movement.
Glory.